Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I am bringing you a big review, one that I've been wanting to talk about for some time. Of course, It Was Just an Accident, written, directed by Jafar, Panahi, the big winner at this year's Cannes Film Festival. It won the Palme d'Or. It's been talked about as an Oscar contender, maybe one of Neon's utmost priorities in this award season race, in getting this movie out so everyone can see it, which it is now out and limited. So I figured now would be a better time to talk about this film and what I thought about it, because I got a chance to see it at the Toronto Film Festival, and it was one of my most anticipated of the entire fest, as I'm sure you can imagine. And so there was a lot of anticipation going into this one, but I must preface this with a little interesting story that happened. Due to some miraculous circumstances, we'll say, I ended up getting to the theater just before the movie started. And I think I talk about this in my out-of-theater reaction, but I'll go a little bit deeper. You know, I had my nachos and I had my energy drink. I was set for the most part. But I will say I was kind of tired at this point, so I didn't know what was going to happen during the screening. But what I did not expect was to see Jafar Panahi in the wings of the theater. So I thought, hey, when I come back to get my food, I might as well just, say hello. And so I go up to Jafar Panahi. I was about to say, oh, I'm really excited for the movie. And the security guard in front of me went, no. So I just kind of had this little awkward moment with Jafar Panahi where we're just kind of looking at each other like, but I think he understood that I just wanted to wish him well, and that I was looking forward to seeing this, because like I said, it really was one of those movies that, one of the hottest tickets of the fest, you could say. So he gets up, he introduces the movie, and then he gets on a plane and goes somewhere else. So it's very, very insane that it was that one moment I had with Jafar Panahi. Had I showed up any earlier or later, it wouldn't have happened. So that's kind of fun to think about. But what's even, I don't know if I want to say fun to think about, but this movie, I'm not even going to get into what the plot of this is, because I think it's best left unsaid until you've actually seen the movie. So naturally this is going to be a spoiler-free review as always, but I am going to imply, some of the thematics of the movie and what they're talking about. So if you find that spoilerish, then you can click off this video and come back later. But I want to try to be as vague about the story as possible, because I think, especially, I heard so much about this, but I knew nothing what was going to happen in the movie. Even seeing the trailer, I knew it was going to be quite the thrill ride, but I didn't know what I was getting into. And I was still surprised by what I got into. Now, I have seen Jafar Panahi's Taxi, which was a film that, while he was under arrest by the Iranian government, he was allowed to drive a taxi around and make some money that way. And this guy is such a punk that he was like, yeah, we're going to film it in this car and we're just going to do it, That is the most punk thing I've ever heard, and I love the guy for it, because for those of you who don't know about Jafar Panahi, this is someone at every step of his career has gone out of the way to defy the Iranian government, whether it comes to censorship, repression. He talks about everything in these movies, and sometimes gets away with it, sometimes doesn't. Now, this is a very interesting case with this movie, because I think he was once allowed, again, to film in Iran, but he did it without them really knowing, and so you get a lot of specific instances, especially with the female actresses in this movie, where they aren't wearing the hijab. And that is apparently illegal in Iran, not to do it. A big no-no, so they don't want this movie getting out. Of course, he has gotten out, and, we're all thankful for that, because really, this guy is a hero. I mean, this guy goes out of his way all the time to not back down and say something about what's going on in his home country. He really is, in my opinion, what a patriot should be. Really trying to get out the word to speak against a body that's taking control over the land and home that you love. I mean, really, you got to give it to this guy. This guy puts himself at risk at every movie he makes. And I think that this one especially is going to hit very hard because of that. But similar to Taxi, which I loved as well, the thing that really still caught me off guard with this movie, and I should have been prepared for it, was its sense of humor. It's such a darkly funny movie from start to finish. Like, the theater was laughing pretty consistently all the way through, as was I. And yet again, he's able to inject these moments of pathos in a really, really wrought situation, which this movie certainly is. I mean, this is pretty heavy, man. And so I appreciate that he's able to, inject that sense of humor all the way through. It's very, very well blocked, I would say. Now, I don't think the direction is necessarily that flashy, which is why, I would nominate other people for Best Director, but since this is a Cannes movie and it's going off with such a splash, he's probably going to get nominated for it regardless. And yet again, there's some really, really great moments of blocking, though I think the strongest part of this movie is the screenplay, which is something that I'm really going to have to revisit because, like I said earlier, I was tired and I had a feeling this was going to happen, but I was really crashing in the middle of this movie, and I was like, oh no, because, this is one of the ones I was looking forward to the most, and so I know this movie deserved more of my undivided attention that I was not able to give it at that moment. So what I did was I went off to the side of the theater and kind of, stood there, especially when we got near the end. And let me tell you, even though I was tired, the final 20 minutes of this movie are so fucking good. It literally knocked me on my ass. Well, okay, maybe not literally, but that's how I was feeling watching this. And there were so many thoughts that were coming to me as the ending of this movie played out. So many complex and thought-provoking questions that this movie raises, especially about, the history of this country and whether, it can heal from the violence that's been perpetuated, whether the people of this country can overcome their trauma or their past. And this doesn't just include one side of the equation. It is so multifaceted, so rich, so deep. Literally, just the way I'm talking about this ending, I think really tells you that I loved this movie when it really comes down to it. Because once all the pieces come into place, it really hits you like a sledgehammer. And I think the implications of the ending itself, yet again, it's one that I'm going to have to revisit because I have been thinking about it quite a bit and what it means. But I think a rewatch will do this, well, certainly will do it better. I will say, though, I do have a few criticisms with this movie that I think I would have had anyways if I wasn't, on the verge of dozing off. And I think some of the characters who kind of come into the story, they get a lot to do, don't get me wrong. They really make their impression. And I have to shout out all the actors in this movie because they're all terrific. I wish I could single out people by name, but I think, I'll have to rewatch it to understand who's who again. But I think that there's some terrific, jaw-dropping monologues, which I was tired for, but I can certainly appreciate and recognize the brilliance of. And so, you get a lot of great character development, but after a certain point, some characters just kind of exit the story. I'll say that much. And I was really hoping that there would be more, or maybe there's like less of a sense of finality to it, and maybe that's what I was looking for. But regardless, this certainly is one of the films that you are going to absolutely have to watch this year, especially if you followed the award circuit. Not that that even matters, because I think with this movie specifically, I was talking, is he getting a Best Director? I think the thing that is most important about this movie is the fact that it was made, that he made his statement, and that he brought it to the rest of the world, and that he's still here to, share this movie with us is so abundantly. I think that's really the big win here. And the fact that he is going to get recognized for this is, frosting on the cake, if you will. And, of course, France submitted it as their pick for International Feature Film at the Oscars, so it's obviously going to get nominated. It's going to get into Best Picture, probably Best Director, but Screenplay, I think, is really what this movie should be recognized for, because it truly is an original, if I've ever seen one, and really one of the most important and complex movies of the year. I wish I could really talk more about it, But I think that you all should check this out in theaters and really see it for yourselves. And maybe I'll get on a spoiler discussion or something with somebody else. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see that. But for now, as it stands, I'm going to give It Was Just an Accident an 8.5 out of 10. This one really did it for me, despite the circumstances. But I do think that it will definitely play a lot better for me when I revisit it later. So this score could definitely, maybe go up a notch or two. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on It Was Just an Accident. If you've seen it, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let me know if you're seeing it this weekend in limited, or if you're seeing it afterwards. Would love to have you come on here and share your thoughts as well. And please let me know if you do want to hear something later on when it comes to spoilers, because I really need to see this one more time to fully rack my brain on it. But yeah, guys, stay tuned for so many other reviews. I think the next one we're going to be doing is Luca Guadagnino's latest After the Hunt. Excited to talk about that one, not as much as this. And I think I'll take a moment to get on here and talk about... of course, the Pokemon Legends ZA is out now, and I still haven't gotten the game. Please don't ever pre-order from Target if you want to get your game on time. But I might get on here if you guys want to, hear my thoughts on the latest Mega Evolutions now that we have their stat coverage and such. Because I was looking at it earlier. There's some truly wild stuff on there. So definitely let me know if you want to see that as well. And until the next video, I bid you adieu. And I will talk to you later.